What's up, SaaS Masters? My name is George, and today I want to show you a deal that's called a LeadCamp. This one is an email tracker, a CRM, and also lets you qualify leads so you focus on the leads that could potentially lead to sales. So it's pretty cool that you can get all of this with the deal that's going on right now. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you what the deal is about, how it works, and what I actually think about it. So let's go jump over to my desktop right now. Okay, this is the deal that's going on right now, and it starts off at $69 for a lifetime deal. So that means you pay once and use it forever, no month-to-month payments. Now, if you guys would like to support me, and if you find this video helpful, do consider using that link in the description. Now, let me show you what that lifetime deal actually gets you. Let's go down here to the plans and features. The most important part is you get unlimited leads, unlimited files, unlimited engagement history, email intelligence, content intelligence, and all that good stuff. Where are the actual limits? Well, they're right here. License tier 1, there's one team member available on the first plan, so that means only you, and you get 75 enrichments per month. Now, what are these enrichments? Well, that means that if you want to find out more about a company, you use the enrichment and it grabs the information for you. What type of information? Well, it grabs, for example, their address, their name, the website, technologies that they're using, the Alexa rank, the amount of employees, the fund raised, how much do they sell, and just any information that's available, it's gonna grab it for you. These credits are optional. You don't have to check every single email. It's optional to decide which one you actually want to find out more information about. So for the first plan, I think most people will be comfortable with 75 enrichments. That means, like I said, you don't have to check every single email that you receive. But if that's not enough, you can jump into license tier 2, which gives you 5 team members and 150 enrichments. And if you need more, well, there's license tier 3 that gives you unlimited team members and 400 enrichments per month. That's a whole lot. Now, let me go jump over to my LeadCamp dashboard. This is my main overview of what's going on. Now, you're gonna be asking yourself, how easy is it to actually use LeadCamp? Well, the first thing that you have to do is install the Chrome extension that activates on Gmail or Microsoft. So you have those two options to use LeadCamp. Now, what does that look like on your Gmail? Let me go open up my Gmail, and we have a sidebar that you can close or open for LeadCamp. It gives you your recent activity for the alerts. You have the profile. In this case, we're looking at the ClickUp information, and it gives you the information about the recent emails for this right here. So for example, these are the recent latest activity. With the details, we can add tags, and we have the company information for ClickUp. In this case, I already previously grabbed the enrichment information from ClickUp, so I have this information. Now, we have a qualification of 100. How do we get to 100? Well, I set the criteria of what I find important to give me that score. What do I do with that score? Well, I know that this company is important for me. If this company contacts me, well, I should dedicate more time to respond to them, and we'll decide what I'm gonna do with them. So I'm gonna dedicate time, all right? So you have the information on this one. We got the name, the address, social media accounts, the qualification. I'll show you how we get to that in a bit. The details, for example, we have the name, the year founded, the industry, the number of employees, race, the Alexa rank, LinkedIn profile, Facebook, Twitter, and we can add manually more. We can also tag it if we want to add other stuff, all right? Now, let me show you what that looks like on the LeadCamp dashboard. Let's go into our leads, and I haven't grabbed the leads for this one right here, okay? So here's Woxo, the developers, WP developers, and I haven't grabbed the enrichment. How do I grab it? Well, there's this link right here. Now, heads up, this link right here to enrich, it's not available on Gmail. They said that they will be adding it, but as of now, that's not available. So if I click on enrich, I'm gonna use one of my credits. So I have 67 credits available, well, left to this month, and it's grabbed the information. Let's go ahead and open it. And here's the information for WP developer, right? So we got the name, the address, the social media accounts, and they got a qualification score of 50 based on what I need. Here's a score based on my criteria, and they say the industry is internet, employees 30, revenue 1 to 10 million raised. No, actually revenue. The funding, they don't have anything raised. Technologies that are using, well, they are not based on what I wanted for the qualification. That's why they got a score of 50. We got more details on the bottom and the graph of what's going on day to day. Let me show you how we get to that score, because that's one of the most important parts about using LeadCamp. If I go hover over on my avatar, go to Qualification Settings, And this is the qualification criteria. Based on what I said here is the qualification that I'm gonna get. So for example, in my case, I don't care about the industry, but if I did, I would select, for example, if my company, if I an auto parts seller and the industry from the email that they're sending from is automotive, well, it's gonna raise a score, all right? So you kind of get the idea. So for example, automotive, photography, those kind of industries, if they come from that email company, then it's gonna raise the score. For employees, in my case, I'm saying if they get a score higher than 10, we'll raise it, all right? I could change that to 100 employees, or let's just say, hey, you know what? I'm looking for big companies, well, over 200 employees. Or I could say, you know what? I'm looking for small companies because that's what I want. I can say, you know what? If they are over 100, just don't give it a good score because that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for small companies because I want to sell them a website or something like that. The revenue, in my case, I have it set to 100,000. Again, you can set your own. Funding raised, again, I have that set to 100,000. And technologies, I'm looking for these type of technologies. There's several technologies available right here that you could set. For example, in my case, I set technologies that cost money, right? So HubSpot is a good company, Trello and Intercom. If they're using these technologies, it's a good company because they have funding, all right? So they got money. In my case, if that's what you're looking for, you set those. And there's anti-technology. So let's just say if they are using, I don't know, something that you are not looking for, well, you set it there and it lowers the score. So it works the other way around. And at the end of the day, it's gonna make a score of all this to decide what you want. Let me show you the lead, for example, for ClickUp. Where's ClickUp, all right? ClickUp, open the company, and you're gonna see it has a score of 100. Why? Because it grabbed the information that I needed. It has over 10 employees, that's what I said. It has 180 right here. The revenue, I said over 100,000. Well, it has more than 100,000. Funding raised, more, and technologies that it's using by, I don't know why, but it's using Intercom, HubSpot, and Trello. Just what I said, it's what it has. So it got a score of 100. So if that's what I'm looking for, I'm gonna dedicate a lot of time to this company to investigate even further and respond to them in, I don't know, a more corporate manner, right? Just a quick example. So basically, that's what you do with leads. You get the information about the email because they're tracking it. You know if they're opening, if they closed it, what they're doing, did they click on a link. You get some recommendations. For example, in this case, engagement is rapidly increasing. You get an engagement score right here. And all of that information is gonna work for you to decide what you're gonna do with that lead. Now, we also have a library available where you add assets right here and you use them on your emails. How does that work? Let's go into the email right here. Let me close this really quickly. Start a new email. And for example, let me just add my email right there really quickly. On the bottom, we have LeadCamp information. So here's the logo. We have the library. If I click on it, we have the assets available. What if I want to add it from here? Maybe it's my PDF that I add to all my clients because I send them an intro or maybe an image. Well, I have it ready here and it adds a tracking link to it. We also have the option to track the email or not because maybe you don't want to use LeadCamp for certain emails. Well, you can deactivate it or activate it depending if you want to use it or not. Also, another good thing about LeadCamp is that you have, where is it? The tracking. We can set our own custom domain to use as a tracking links. So if someone inspects the emails, it's not gonna show LeadCamp. It's gonna use your own domain for the tracking emails, which makes it more professional. Plus you're not using that shared domain that everyone else is using. Maybe they are using it in a bad way. For example, they're spamming people. Well, they're gonna burn that email. So it's better to use your domain. Now, if you wanna track your website traffic, in my case, I'm not doing it. I have several websites. I don't need to add another tracking link. But if you want to track if your leads are clicking on that link to go to your website, well, you have that information also by using the tracking link. We also have the privacy and consent. If you want to activate it, in this case, it's rogue. You're not doing anything. If you want to guarantee that leads can read your privacy policy, well, you activate that. You add your privacy policy, GDPR hardcore, and you save the settings once you add them. All right, you have all of that. There's also the integrations. This one I think is super interesting. I wish they add webhooks. That's not available right now. There's only Zapier and it's in beta mode right now. Let me show you what type of results you can get from Zapier. This makes it really powerful because you can do a whole lot with it. Let me choose an event. This is what you can do with Zapier as the starting point, all right? So a new lead, if a new lead is added on LeadCamp, well, do something in Zapier. You could send it out to another CRM, do something else, do an automation. A new account, a lead update, an account updated, or a lead score. That's for the starting point. And if you want to use it, for example, something before it, like a webhook or from another site, well, you have these events. You can create or update a lead. So if you're using another CRM in combination with this one, well, you update a lead or create one. Create an update account, find the lead, or find the account. So that's available now on Zapier. Like I said, hope they add webhooks because that'll open up the way you can use it with other companies like Pabbly, like Integromat, and a whole bunch of other companies that do automations. All right, well, that is LeadCamp. What I think about it, is it worth getting or not? There's a few things missing as of now. In my case, if I want to replace MailTrack, which is what I'm using to track emails, it's very limited. But if I want to replace that, what I use MailTrack for is that when someone opens up an email or they click on a link, I get an email alert back. Now that's not available right now on LeadCamp. What they said is that they will be adding these. Let me show you exactly what they said. Let's go into Trello right here. And this is what they said. Where is it? They're going to be able to make custom stages. So this is something that's coming to LeadCamp. That means that based on a certain stage that's going to happen, you can do an action to it, all right? So even email notifications will be a part of it. Now, once I get that, I'm good to go to replace MailTrack, for example. Okay. Another thing that I find, it's a bit slow when you send out an email. So since it's integrated to Gmail, when I click on send, it takes about 5 seconds. 5 seconds to send the email once I click on it, instead of being immediate send out. Just something that you have to consider. You just click once, don't click again. You don't have to do it. It just takes a bit and it sends out an email. I'm not sure if that's a bug or something that's going on behind the scenes. Like maybe they are creating the links and it takes a bit longer. And I did report that. Let's see if they fix that. All right. So basically right now for $69, get an email tracker, a CRM, and also scoring the leads to take more care about that client. I think it's worth it. But if you have an additional, like something that you're using already that works fine for you, well, you can skip LeadCamp in case you're using something else that just works fine for you. But if not, this is a good option to have. It should be growing even more. Like I said, they are still working on the integration for Zapier. It's on beta mode, and I hope they are planning to add webhooks. Now, I will be leaving in the description the roadmap so you guys can check it out, because there's several things that will be coming to LeadCamp, and we should be aware of what's going on, because if you're looking for something that's not available right now, well, they might be implementing it in the future. So this is the roadmap right now. They even have going live soon, but it's already live. For example, Zapier, Salesforce, I haven't seen it, but that will be coming soon. So basically, that is LeadCamp. If you guys are interested in grabbing the lifetime deal, and if you find this video helpful, do consider using that link in the description. That helps me out with a small commission, and it won't cost you a single cent more than what it already cost. Well, I thank y'all for watching. My name is George. This is SaaS Master, and I'll see you guys later.